Okay, so today we will be drawing a brain map. At the top of the brain, which is up here, dorsal. Back, we have ventricle, like back, top, and then anterior, posterior, being the back of the head, back of the cranium. Then I'm going to divide this into the hindbrain, midbrain, and forebrain. So ventricle, we'll talk about that in a minute. Ventral starts at the spinal cord, so the base of the neck. And then there's a giant hole that is called the foramen magnum, that literally means giant hole. And above that is the medulla, sometimes pronounced medulla oblongata, and that makes up the myencephalon of the hindbrain. So now we will be able to go into the metaencephalon. Where on the anterior side we have pons, on the posterior side we have the cerebellum. And from there we can go into the metaencephalon of the midbrain, since the hindbrain is done, where the floor of the metaencephalon is the tegmentum, and the roof is the tectum. So in the tegmentum are two structures. First, almost adjacent to the cerebellum, is the fourth ventricle, which is surrounded by a para-aqueductal gray. And then we will also have a pair of structures that one is on the left and one is on the right, but for this example, they are drawn laying down. This is the substantia nigra and red nuclei. Substantia nigra and red nucleus. And now in the tectum, we have another pair of structures called the superior and inferior colliculi. The superior colliculi is for vision, and the inferior colliculi is for hearing. And that is it for the midbrain in the metaencephalon. So we will be going up now to the diencephalon, where we will start with the thalami, where most of our senses come from. And again, these are also paired, and this is kind of split and laid down. And in the middle, we have the hypothalamus, which has the pituitary gland hanging off of it, where the hypothalamus and the pituitary are used to control the endocrine system and control pretty much your thyroid glands. Pituitary. And then towards the back, we will have the epithalamus, which consists of the habenula, which is this half donut looking shape that I just drew in brown, and then the pineal body, which is almost like a donut hole. So habenula and pineal body. And in here in between those is the third ventricle. And then that is it for the diencephalon. So we'll go into the telencephalon, where we will have the caudate nucleus, that surrounds the cingulate, in a way, the cingulate gyrus actually, which that structure is on top of the globus pallidus structure that is also connected to the putamen, globus pallidus. And then the last structure we have in there is the amygdala that is connected to the hippocampus. And all of these structures are almost the same in terms of being laid down and split into the left and right, but I believe it is the globus pallidus putamen structure that the left only has two. And yeah, that should be it for what I believe the brain is. I will also submit a picture with this.